don't think I belong here. I don't think I fit in.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you do.
Oh, no, I mean it. I mean it. It's just somebody must have goofed if I gotta stay here another day.
Peace. It's Professor Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
Which means it's too strong.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Peace, peace, peace. Love, light, prosperity, all those beautiful things. Let me know if y'all can hear me, all right? Bad connection over here on this IG. It's ugly. It's really ugly. All right, am I coming through? Give me the thumbs up, peace sign, black power, fist, something. Jamal Edmonds, peace. Professor Griff, what is your everyday carry? Jamal Edmonds, my EDC, just so happens to be clear. All right. My EDC is Glock 19. All right. And because of my eyesight, of course, you'll see I got the glow in the dark sights. All right. But Glock 19, of course, equipped with a light so I can see what I'm doing. All right. But basic standard Glock 19. Nothing big, nothing not too small. All right. I can get fight over and done with. Glock 19 MOS Gen 5. Glock 19 MOS Gen 5. Chambered in 9mm. Thank you very much, Jamal Edmonds. That's it. Glock 19. Can't go wrong with that, man. All right. If you want to take my firearms class, hit me up 678-557-2919. As a matter of fact, my firearms class is happening this Saturday and next Saturday. If y'all want me to send y'all a flyer, can y'all just text me? 678-557-2919. 678-557-2919. As a matter of fact, I'm waiting on Quan, but I'm going to put my phone number in here, 2919. All right. Griff. All right. And, of course, on IG, 678-557-2919. Griff. Text me if you want to get in the firearms class. All right. Having trouble connecting. Please check your internet connection. Knew that was happening. Quan, what's good with you? I'm having some serious internet issues over here, Quan. So hopefully I can get through this. All right. Eric Toure Muhammad. Peace, bro. Assalamu alaikum. All right. But that's my EDC. Boggs Middleton, what's good with you? One day we're going to have a firearms talk right on here and just kind of, dive into it. But thank you, Jamal, for that question. My EDC, Glock 19 MOS. All right. I'd say for those people that are studying which firearm to carry, I say take the class first, shoot a couple, then you decide. All right. All right. I'm going to send the flyer out as soon as I finish this class. As soon as I finish this talk. All right, family. Greetings, everyone. How's everyone doing? Tonight's subject I want to kind of talk about and deal with our good brother, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., all right? The drum major for justice, all right? I didn't want to come on yesterday and bog you down with what you're already probably hearing from media, social media, those people that don't even like Dr. King, those people that don't believe in what Dr. King is saying or doing, just all of the stuff. I didn't want to get caught up into, I didn't want to blend into traffic and get caught up with that stuff. So I want to have some honest, open dialogue. So we're going to talk about Dr. King. All right. First, I would like to say, I would like everyone to find a Dr. King quote and put it up as we begin this conversation. All right. Those of y'all that are deep researchers, can y'all find one book that Dr. Martin Luther King has written and put that up also? Can we do that? Remember, family, you are on Serious Minds, RNTV, radio and TV. All right, so we're talking about serious minds, attracting serious minds. Then I want us to actually dive deep and challenge ourselves. I'm not challenging you. Hopefully you're not challenging me, but I want each individual to challenge themselves to dive deeper past the street that you might live on, which in every city, there's a Dr. Martin Luther King or Martin Luther King Drive or a boulevard or an avenue or a street. Let's get past that. All right. Let's get past I have a dream. Let's get past the Dr. Martin Luther King birthday bash weekend. Let's get past what happened in Florida, Fort Pierce. There was a shootout at a Dr. King celebration. Yeah, I said it. There was a shootout. Yeah, someone else has explained that one to me. All right. Someone hit me up and said Dr. Martin Luther King didn't necessarily preach Jesus. Dr. Martin Luther King didn't necessarily preach peace. I said, well, you do have a point, but I think he encompassed or encapsulated, Jamal Edmond, thank you very much for the donation. He encapsulated those concepts inside of what he did preach and what he did teach. All right, he was a drum major for justice. Now, what does that justice look like to you is the question that I want to ask. We dive into this subject. All right, shout out to the new Black Panther Party, the Virginia chapter. All right, Black Power. Where do we go from here? By Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. All right, so there's some things I want to cover as we go along. As you put the information up, I'll just kind of go over it. If you can just follow along with me while we dive into this small little talk. All right, okay. I'll do that. Let's share. All right. All right, here we go with Dr. Martin Luther King, the major Dr. Martin Luther King events on the chronology, 1929 to 1968. You could look this up because that's all I did. I make it very simple for those of us that are just getting knowledge of in transition or whatever. This is no real deep kind of research. What we pull out of it may be deep according to your temperature, according to what floor you on. When the elevator comes to your floor, just press the button and get on. All right. All right. Thank you, Gerald. Really appreciate that. Mr. Doc, what's good with you? There's nothing more dangerous than a sincere ignorance and contentious stupidity. Dr. Martin Luther King. All right. Dr. Martin Luther King was a drum major for justice. Now the question is, what does that justice look like for you? All right. Let us realize the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Dr. Martin Luther King. Black Ace, BAMN. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Jamal Edmonds basically said, I'm a Boston native, and that MLK statue they unveiled is horrible. Boston subtle racism is real. All right. Gerald also says, why we can't wait. All right. I clarify that, Smart Pharmacy. What is that, a quote or a name of his book? That's what I'm asking for right now. A Dr. King quote or the name of one of his books. All right. I want the quote or the name of his book. All right. 1929, January 15th. Michael King, later known as Martin Luther King, is born at 501 Auburn Avenue, Atlanta, Georgia. All right. What speech is that, Miss Smart Pharmacy? All right, we can't go half-stepping on this. Give me the quote, what speech is from, what book is from. Talk to me. All right. Okay, Michael King, later known as Martin Luther King. All right, why was his name changed? He was born Michael, but he ended up becoming Dr. Martin Luther King after receiving his degree, I guess. The King family, Martin Luther King Sr., Daddy, Alberta King Williams, Willie Christine, Martin Luther King Jr., Alfred Daniel, blah, 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 also known as AD. All right. King begins his freshman year at Morehouse College. It says 1944, 1946. Atlanta Constitution publishes King's letter to the editor stating that Black people are entitled to the basic rights and opportunities of American citizens. For 1948, he is ordained, appointed assistant pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. June 8th, pardon me. For still in 48, he receives a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology from Morehouse College. September, he begins his studies at Crozier Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania. All right. In May 51, King graduates from Crozier with a Bachelor of Divinity degree, delivering the valedictorian address at the commencement. That is a commencement, pardon me. The 13th September, he begins his graduate studies in systematic theology at Boston University. This would give us an idea of why they are putting a statue up in honor, I guess, of Dr. Martin Luther King in Boston. Some people couldn't make the connection. All right. All right, we're asking for quotes or book from Dr. Martin Luther King. All right, 54, King begins his pastoral at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Well, I visited that church this year, as a matter of fact. Me and myself in college, El Hakeem. June of that year, King was awarded his doctorate in systematic theology at Boston University. November, Yolanda Denise King, King's first child, is born. 55. December 1st, Rosa Parks is arrested for refusing to vacate her seat and move to the rear of the city bus in Montgomery to make way for a white passenger. Joanne Robinson and other women's political council members, thousands of leaflets calling for one-day boycott of the city's buses on Monday, December 5th. December 5th, a mass meeting at Holt Street Baptist Church, Montgomery Improvement Association's MIA is formed. King becomes its president. 56, according to King's later account, in stride towards freedom, he receives threatening phone calls late in the evening, prompting a spiritual revelation that fills him with the strength to carry on in spite of persecution. January 9/15, while King was speaking in a mass meeting, his home was bombed, and his wife and daughter are not injured. Later, King's addressed angry crowd that gathers outside his house, pleading for non-violence. All right. Okay. Montgomery City Lines resumes full service on all routes. King is among the first passengers to ride the bus in an integrated fashion. Okay, 57. All right. Southern Black Ministries meet in Atlanta to share strategies to fight against segregation. King is named chairman of the Southern Negro Leaders Conference on Transportation and Nonviolent Integration, later known as the Southern Christian Leadership, SCLC. In February, King appears on the cover of Time magazine. Who has that magazine, that Time magazine, where King appears on the cover? All right, that's some memorabilia right there. My Pharmacy says darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. All right. Tina Ray, the World Treasury of the Modern Religious Thought, Dr. Martin Luther King. The World Treasury of Modern Religious Thought, Dr. Martin Luther King. Are y'all writing these books down? All right. June of that year, King and Ralph David Abernathy meet with Vice President Richard M. Milhouse Nixon and issue a statement on their meeting. In October, Coretta Scott King gives birth to their second child, Martin III. 58, King and other civil rights leaders, I wasn't even born yet, civil rights leaders meet with President Dwight D. Eisenhower in Washington, D.C. In the same year, in September, King's first book, Stride Toward Freedom, The Montgomery Story, is published. Stride Towards Freedom. All right. September, during a book signing in Ballstein's department store in Harlem, New York, King is stabbed by Isola Ware Curry. He is rushed to Harlem Hospital, where the team of doctors successfully moved a 7-inch letter opener from his chest. Dr. King is a better man than me. All right? I'm sorry she would have got that dang. Trust me. Trust me. All that nonviolent shit is to the curb. You stick a fucking letter opener in my chest? Yeah. Need I say more? Thank you. 1960, the year I was born. As a matter of fact, in one of the songs I'm writing called the Civil Rights Act of 1960, I talk about this. King moves from Montgomery to Atlanta to devote more time to the SCLC and the freedom struggle. He becomes an assistant pastor to his father at Ebenezer Baptist Church. In May of that year, King is found not guilty to tax fraud by a white jury in Montgomery. Same thing they do to everyone. June of that year, King meets privately in New York with the Democratic presidential candidate John F. Kennedy. All right. October of that year, King is arrested during the sit-in demonstration at Rich's department store in Atlanta. You remember Rich's? It used to be a main department store in Atlanta. All right, right downtown. I believe near Little 5 Points. He is sentenced to 4 months hard labor for violating probation conditions he had received earlier that year for driving without a state driver's license. He is released on a $2,000 bond in October. 61, Dexter King. King's third child is born May of that year after the initial group of freedom fighters seeking to integrate bus terminals are assaulted in Alabama. King addresses a mass rally at the mob's besieged Montgomery Church. Okay. October of that year, King meets with President John F. Kennedy and urges him to issue a second Emancipation Proclamation to eliminate racial segregation. December 16th of that year, which is my son's birthday, King, Ralph Abernathy, Albany Movement President William G. Anderson, and other protesters are arrested by Lori Pritchett during a campaign in Albany, Georgia. 1962, July, King is arrested at Albany, Georgia prayer vigil and jailed after spending 2 weeks in jail. I think King got arrested how many times? They said 40. Forty. During the closing session of the SCLC's conference in Birmingham, Alabama, a member of the American Nazi Party assaults King, striking him twice in the face. Yet again, we're not doing the nonviolent thing. I'm only nonviolent with those that are nonviolent with me. I'm getting antsy and amped just thinking about it. 63, Bernice Alberton, King's fourth child, is born. April of that year, responding to 8 Jewish and Christian clergymen, men's advice, pardon me, that African American wait patiently for justice, King pens his letter from the Birmingham jail. How many people have read that? King's letter from a Birmingham jail. King and Abernathy were arrested on at the 12th of April and released on the 19th of April. May of that year, the conflict in Birmingham reaches its peak when high-pressure fire hose forced demonstrations from the business district. In addition to hoses, Police Commissioner Eugene Bullcon employs dogs, clubs, and cattle prods to disperse 4,000 demonstrators in downtown Birmingham. Birmingham was off the chain. All right. September 18th, King delivers the eulogy at the funerals of Addie Mae Collins, Carol Denise McNair, and Cynthia Diane Wesley, 3 of the 4 children that were killed during the 15th of September bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. Carol Robertson, the 4th victim, was buried in a separate ceremony. 1964, King is named Man of the Year by Time Magazine. Time Magazine must be doing a number. We talk about COINTELPRO. All right, we talk about the counterintelligence program. All right, and some of y'all need to look that up. June of that year, King's book, Why We Can't Wait, is published. All right. Then also in June, King is arrested and jailed, demanding service at a white-only restaurant. I think it was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we need to stay out of places where we're not wanted. We want a restaurant to make it as good as we cook. Build your own restaurant. July, King and SCLC staff launched a people-to-people tour of Mississippi to assist Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and the Congress of Racial Equality Corps in the Mississippi Freedom Summer Campaign. I'm not going to read everything, but on December 10th of that particular year, which is 1964, all right, King receives the Nobel Peace Prize. At a ceremony in Oslo, Norway, he declares that every penny of the $54,000 award that he's awarded will be used in the ongoing civil rights struggle. Man of character and integrity. '66. All right. King and his wife moved into an apartment at 1550 South Hamlin Avenue in Chicago to draw attention to the city's poor housing home conditions. God damn. King was about that life. For real. 1967, King delivers the Beyond Vietnam to a gathering of clergy and laymen concerned about the Vietnam conflict. They call it conflict. Then later on, they get studying it. I guess it escalated, according to them, into the Vietnam War. How you going to have 25,000 advisors over there in Vietnam advising? Now, that's an all-out goddamn war. 1968. King leads a march of 6,000 protesters in support of striking sanitation workers in Memphis The march descends into violence and looting, and King is rushed from the scene. April of that year, King returns to Memphis determined to lead a peaceful march. During an evening rally at the Mason Temple in Memphis, King delivers his final speech. I've been to the mountaintop. All right? I've been to the mountaintop. April 4th, King is shot and killed while standing on a balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. 9th of April, King is buried. All right? So first of all, we want to say happy birthday, happy born day, happy Earth Day. And as long as we utter your name, all right, and we pour the sacred water in a ritual, in a ceremony, which we call pouring libation, we will forever remember all those that fought, bled, and died, all right, for our people. So happy birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King. Happy born day, happy Earth Day. We'll forever remember you, your struggles, your strides, and what you've done for our people. All right, let me get my screen back. All right, and let me give it back to you. Share my screen. Let me see. Is that what I want? I think I want. That's what I want. All right. I've seen a lot of different celebrations over the last few days, most of which are coming from a good place. But we do need to, and I think we need to do it right now. All right. We need to separate the manufactured, glazy, softer, kinder, gentler Dr. King from the radical Dr. King. We need to separate the one that they molded and shaped and fed us back from the radical one. And there's nothing wrong with being radical. All right? Okay. So, okay. We got that. We understand that. Thank you. So I want to shout out some of those individuals that may have, when I say may have, they have. I know that, but I don't want to push that on you because I want you to study. All right. I want you to study the contributions of Mr. Harry Belafonte, his contributions to supporting Dr. Martin Luther King. I want you to study Stevie Wonder's contributions. All right. Now, Dr. King wasn't stupid. I tried to do some research on the .38 caliber that Dr. King carried, and no one would give me any information. I want to know who owned it. I want to know where it's at. All right. Okay. So we need to look into the contributions of Dr. Martin Luther King. We need to kind of take a different approach, and we need to kind of look into his life and extract the necessary lessons from it, all right, and pass on those lessons to our children, all right, to that next generation. All right, our story needs to be told to us by us. Our story needs to be told to us by us. All right. I know a lot of people that when they hear Dr. Martin Luther King's name, they go right to the negative. And I think you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That as soon as you hear the man's name, the only thing that comes up is what the white man, the white media, the white press, all right, J. Edgar Hoover, and the rest of the alphabet boys have painted in your mind about Dr. King. There's some negative things that I could say about you as soon as your name is mentioned. All right? But let's not do that. All right? We need to change that narrative. All right? At least we dive into everyone's past and pull up some dirt, and then every time your name is mentioned, that comes up. Like every time you Google Professor Griff, the anti-Semitic stuff comes up, and I hate that, and I hate this one and I hate that one. Stop the blood clot crying. So we need to talk about the revolutionary, Dr. Martin Luther King. All right? If the man was teaching and preaching for justice and or equal justice under the law, then you don't think he's going to have some opposition? You don't think they're going to bug his hotel room? You don't think they're going to put people around him? You don't think the pastors and the preachers and the reverends would be jealous of the man? I don't care what you say. Dr. Martin Luther King had it going on. Now you may not have agreed with everything that he's said and done. Hell, I don't agree with everything your ass have said and done. But Dr. Martin Luther King was about that life. Because I don't see you enduring going to jail 40 times, getting arrested 40 times. All right? And then still have the nerve to stand up in these people's face, go to the damn protest and let them know, look, we're coming to get our check. You understand what I'm saying? Bitcoins and all. I'm just saying. How many of y'all brave enough to do that? If so, where's your work? But you sit comfortably behind $500,000 cell phones and computers, and you want to talk negatively about the man. Stop that, man. Stop that. Stop that. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. Shout out to Harry Belafonte. Thank you all for being brave enough, risking your career, to put your energy, your money, and your resources and your spirit behind a man, all right, that was speaking for us all. All right. Where was I at? We was making our way to Boston. We're going to talk about this statue. I can admit when I first saw it, two things that come to mind. I am like you are, or you should be, symbol literate. All right? And Illinois Reese said that statue is trash. Okay. Someone else called it baby boy statue. All right. Someone said the statue is called the Embrace. Okay. I see somebody in Quan, somebody in their feelings. Wow. Moses Blackthorn says that's terrible. Show the man's face. I ain't even dive into the statue yet, and y'all are like, my man Misan says, fuck this shit. Let's just move to Africa. Misan, why we got to move to Africa? Why we can't move to Africa but still have a house or a home or some land or connects here? Why can't we do both? Shit, they call us African Americans. Why we can't do both? I'm with living in both places. Let's make that happen. Someone said the statue is distasteful. Well, my thing is, I looked at it and I was like, what the hell? I'm not feeling it, nor am I getting it. And then I saw the picture of where that sculpture is. What do you call a person? A sculptus? What do you call a person that does sculptures? So until I had the, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's me, family. Maybe it's me. But until I, hold on, let me see. We want the window. Okay, I got it now. All right, here we go. Until I saw the picture, I didn't get it. Until I saw the full picture of the statue, I didn't get it. Artist or sculptor? Thank you, Doc. Sometimes a brother need help. I threw the life raft out there. Oh, thanks for throwing me the life raft, rather. All right, so the artist or the sculptor must have had a certain vision. And you know, sometimes artists got this eclectic kind of thing that they kind of do, and they see things from different angles, but I just didn't see it. Misan says, the longer we are here, we still keep funding this place. Well, we were here before they got here, Misan. So I'm trying to understand the rationale. All right. There's other people here, Misan, that are not funding this place, but they're here. We should look at their model and say, okay, we get it. We could also be here and not fund the madness. But I understand what you're saying. I'm not giving up my land here. All right. I'm being greedy. I want both. You call me an African American, then that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'll be. I'm gonna be in Africa, and I'm gonna be in America. All right. Thank you, Tina Ray. It makes sense, but you're right, Quan. It failed miserably. But now that I see it next to the original picture, I understand it. I get it. All right. And sometimes as artists, this is what we do. This is what we do. Okay. Night nurses, can I talk to you for a second about that comment? You said you was born here. Well, night nurses, please understand this. And I'm not picking on you, and I'm not trying to come at you in any kind of way. French poodles may be from France, but if they're bred and raised and born here, that still makes them French poodles. German shepherds may be from Germany. You follow where I'm going with this? They still call German shepherds. I could go on and on with all kind of goddamn examples, night nurses. So rock with me with that, all right? We'll just throw that out there. All right? Okay, got you. Thank you for receiving that, night nurses. I might need you. I might get sick one day and might need a night nurse. You understand what I'm saying? My mom was a nurse. I want you on the team. I can't, all right? No, not in that way. I know what some people are thinking. No. My first doctor and nurse is Professor Griff. Second one is my wife, Miss Aja Shah, aka Soleil. All right. Anyway. Peace. Brandel Bone, what's good with you? All right, let me finish this. So I'm looking at it. I'm saying to myself, I'm only looking at this. And I say to myself, okay, I see the buttons on the sleeve. So I know it's a jacket or somebody's arm. And I'm seeing the hands. But I'm trying to figure out, I'm just kind of, maybe it's me. All right. I saw some people's commentary. I saw people's kind of way they was looking at it. So let me ask a question, and this is not taking a shot at anyone. Why, when we first look at something like this, a piece of art, our mind always go to the perverted idea or aspect of what this might represent? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Because some of y'all was thinking that if this thing is called the embrace, well, I mean, what is she embracing? What is he embracing? Oh, someone said that's the American way. Okay. Joe Hunter, yeah, that's true. But we could get together and find one of our artists, our sculptors, to put a sculpture together. I mean, my thing is I respect what Misan and other people are saying. Of course I do, because I'm in that vein, and plus that's my brother. I'm saying as long as I have some place to live here, Misan got a place to come back to if he decide to give up everything in America and go to Africa. And I'm sure he feels the same way about me coming to Africa, whether it's Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, wherever. All right? That's how we have to move. That's how we have to think. All right? So let me ask you, what's the first thing you thought when you saw the sculpture, the sculpt? How you say that, Doc? When you first saw I don't know what's up with my brain today. I need some brain tonic. Great filibuster. Where you been, man? The year has changed and the disrespect has continued. I know. Somebody help me out. I'm trying to find the word. Oh, the first thing that came to your mind was, what the F is it? Got you. So it's a sculpture. The person who does it is a sculptor. Thank you very much. I went to public school. Yeah, Roosevelt Junior Senior High School. You thought Mercury just went direct? Okay. Who in King's family approved of that? All right, great filibuster. We're going to send you some energy. You need to contact my pharmacy. So what I'm trying to do is put something else on your mind, so when we approach the conversation with ourselves, and if we have to have that conversation with other people, I say we come from the perspective of talking about the revolutionary aspects of Dr. Martin Luther King. We already got I Have a Dream. We already got the fact that he said, after deep consideration and deep thought, he probably made the mistake, and he understood that later on that he's probably integrating his people into a burning house. All right. Now we have to give that a contextual revision, if I could say that. We need to kind of look into it and go back over it and say, well, what did he mean by that? What is the backstory? Let me put it that way. Why did he say that? What did he find out about America burning that he all of a sudden said he feels that he's integrating his people into a burning house? And then exactly what did he mean? All right. Okay. Now, so if we're talking about the family giving approval, I think there's a foundation, all right, and the trust. And I'm not sure how many of the family members have to okay a statue like that or a sculpture like that. All right. All right. So what I'm going to need everyone to do basically is let's check our own mindset. All right. So I want to challenge everyone. For every negative comment you made tonight on this broadcast, can we find a positive one for the next few minutes that I'm going to be on? Smart Pharmacy, can you get in contact with the great filibuster? Put your information up so he can snatch it. Quan, how much this joint cost for real? Enemies Public said none of the kings would have approved of that. Not BB King, not Evelyn Champagne King, not Rodney King. Not the king of Zamunda. No one? Okay. Come on, man. Markeith Bankroll, you killing me, man. Bro, nah, it's going to be hard for me to believe that, man. Somebody got to verify that. Come on, talk to me, fam. $10 million? Night nurses, come on, man. You making my shoulder hurt for real. 10 million. $10 million. I'm waiting for somebody to verify that, night nurses. Thank you, Double B. Really appreciate the donation. Nah, great filibuster. I got some. Hit me up, man. You got my phone number, 678-557-2919. I got it, man. Hit me up, bro. I got you. I Googled, according to the status, it was 800,000. Okay. I know they ain't paying no 10 million for that joint. Yeah, they need to go get 9 million of that back. All right, fam. Dr. Martin Luther King. Somebody give me the words to Dr. Martin Luther King's, the words that stood out to you. Hold on. Where we at? Hold on. Dr. Stevie Wonder said in his song about Dr. Martin Luther King and his birthday, I just never understood how a man who died for good could not have a day that would be set aside for his recognition, because it should never be just because some cannot see. Hold on. the dream as clear as he, that they should make it become an illusion, and we shall all know everything. Now, this is Stevie Wonder, a man with inner vision. All right. That he stood for a time will bring, for in peace our hearts will sing. Thanks to Martin Luther King. Happy birthday to you. That's from Stevie Wonder. All right. So we want to salute the revolutionary Dr. King, the radical Dr. King, the one that agitated and held a mirror up to the United States government and had them live up to their own words, whether it's in the Constitution or whatever they say. All right. He was a freedom fighter. He was a drum major for justice indeed. All right. We're looking at the revolutionary side of Dr. Martin Luther King. All right. All these negative things that we're so programmed to mention about one another. And at the same time we're doing this, our children are listening and watching. Watching every time his name is mentioned, you cringe as though you want to say something negative. All right. Shout out to my crew, Public Enemy. And of course, by the time I get to Arizona, thanks, LP. All right. Why can't we take the positive aspects of what this man gave us? Listen, I love Steve Biko, but you're not going to like everything about Steve Biko. I like Patrice Lumumba. You're not going to like everything about Patrice Lumumba. The Zulus, all right, the Mau Mau. You just not going to like everything. Che Guevara. You just not going to like everything. Plain and simple. But guess what's deeper than all of that? I love Professor Griff. And I don't like everything about Professor Griff. That's why I'm constantly diving deep, going in to pull out the best Griff that I can be. So come on, fam. I'm letting y'all know. You talk about my ass when I go back to the essence. I'm coming back to haunt your ass. I'm only playing. Marcus Garvey said, I'm coming back in the whirlwind, draped in the flag of the red, the black, and the green, with the key. I hear what y'all said. With the key. Y'all killing me. Y'all supposed to be on it, man. All right. The red, the black, and the green, with the key. Can I get it from one person at least? Nobody? Y'all better go back and study X-Clan, man. Come on, man. Y'all killing me. Thank you, Mr. Todd. Thank you, Trap Gucci Girls. Thank you, BJM356. Anyways, Professor Griff, I got to get out of here. It's been real. All right, as Don Cornelius used to say, in pardon, we wish you love, peace, and soul. All right, it's Professor Griff. I'm out of here. Serious minds attract serious minds. Seriously. Peace, fam. Peace. Y'all killing me today, for real. All right.
Warning. Self-destruct sequence has initiated.
We just received some very disturbing news from Washington that the Supreme Court of the United States of America has stripped away the right and responsibility to protect its citizens.
The Senate passing the first significant gun legislation in the U.S. in nearly 3 decades.
Allowing ordinary citizens to carry concealed weapons into stores and malls, on mass transit, in daycare centers and hospitals, in polling places, or in bars and restaurants does not make us safer.
The Constitution protects an individual's right to carry a handgun for self-defense outside the home.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, peace and love, and welcome to Smile Pharmacy Apothecary. We've been here since 2019, and although times have changed and healthcare has evolved, our traditions of compassion and professionalism thrives on. You are always at the heart of what we do. Smile Pharmacy, we heal. Visit us today online or in store at smilepharmacy.com.
50 million. That's how many people in the U.S. suffer from chronic pain. Many turn to opioid painkillers for relief.
The evidence is not at all clear about the efficacy of these drugs long-term for chronic pain.
Mayo Clinic pain management specialist Dr. Mike Hooten says what is clear about these painkillers is the risk associated with taking them.
The problems of addiction, but also a related problem of accidental overdose deaths.
Keep your body in motion with Little Goddess's Pain Potion on littlegoddessapothecary.com.
Check out Plant-Based BK on DoorDash. Create your own playlist from our winter soundtrack. Turn up the bass.
Which means it's too strong.
Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.